All right, I'm going to do 25 to 41 odd. Your homework was 26 to 42 even. All right, so remember, I want you to number 1 and 2. And you need to make the numerator a single fraction and the denominator a single fraction. Well, we're good here because they're already single fractions, so we can skip straight to step 4, which tells us to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So I flip over the denominator. The y's cancel each other, the x squareds cancel each other. But remember, whatever you do to the denominator, you also have to do to the numerator. So I'm left with negative 2x over x minus y times x squared over y. So let's see if anything cancels. Remember, when you're canceling fractions that you're multiplying, you can either cancel up and down or you can cancel left and right. So it actually looks like nothing cancels here, so you're just going to multiply straight across. So you have negative 2x times x squared is going to give me negative 2x cubed. And then you have y times x minus y. And that's actually all you can do. So that one wasn't too bad. All right. Remember number 1 and 2. So the first one is actually not a single fraction. So we need to actually do a little bit of work there. So first things first, we're going to find our LCD. So we need to represent each denominator. So I need an x represented, so I'm going to say x. Then I need an x squared represented. I only have an x, so we're actually going to make this a squared to make sure everything's represented. So I'm going to go ahead and write my common denominator, and I'm going to build my numerator. So what is this denominator missing that this one has? An x. What is this denominator missing that this one has? Nothing, because they're the same. So then you multiply. 2 times x is 2x. Plus 1. And this is my new numerator. Now my step 2 is make the denominator one fraction. Well, the denominator is already one fraction. So I can go straight to step 3 and rewrite. So I'm going to do my new numerator, 2x plus 1 over x squared, always put parentheses around a binomial, over my original denominator because we didn't do anything to it. Now I need to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So your x squares cancel and your y canceled. But whatever you do to the denominator, you also have to do to the numerator. So notice these x squareds cancel. So all you're left with is 2x plus 1 over y. And that is your answer for 27. All right. Now 29, we're actually going to have to do something for the numerator and for the denominator. So let's start with the numerator. X over 9 minus 1 over x. We need to find the LCD. So you need a 9 represented in the LCD. You also need an x represented in the LCD. So our LCD is going to be 9x. Compare each individual denominator to the common denominator. What is this one missing that this one has? An x. So you multiply it times the numerator. What is this one missing that this one has? A 9. So you multiply that times the numerator. So these multiplied together are x squared minus these multiplied together. 1 times 9 is 9. Now, notice x squared minus 9 is difference of squares. So it's x plus 3 times x minus 3 over 9x. That is going to be your new numerator. Okay, so I circle it because I'm going to use it later. Now let's do the denominator. I'm going to make this 1 over 1, so we're dealing with fractions, over plus 3 over x. So I need my LCD. So I need a 1 represented, and I need an x represented. So my LCD is just going to be x, because 1x and x are the same thing. So what is this denominator missing that this one has? An x. What is this denominator missing that this one has? Nothing. So you want to multiply these. 1 times x is just x plus 3. And that is going to be my new denominator. So step 3 is to actually rewrite the whole thing. And actually, I'm going to move step 3 down here so I make sure we have enough room. So I have x plus 3 times x minus 3 over 9x, that's my new numerator, all over my new denominator was x plus 3 over x. So step 4 is multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So flip your denominator over. These cancel, these cancel. But whatever you do to the denominator, you also have to do to the numerator. So this x and this x cancel. This x plus 3 and this x plus 3 cancel. And I'm just left with x minus 3 over 9. Now, it's extremely important to keep your parentheses, because otherwise some of you are going to try to reduce the 3 and the 9, but the 3 is not just a 3. It's x minus 3, so you cannot reduce the 9. So your answer is just x minus 3 over 9. Okay, so step 1 and step 2. Step 1 is actually already a single fraction, but if you notice the denominator of the denominator of the numerator, so the denominator of x of 1 is difference of squares. So I'm actually going to rewrite it x minus 1 over, and instead of x squared minus 4, I'm going to put x plus 2, x minus 2, because I think later on that will help us when we go to cancel things. So that's my new denominator, or my new numerator. And then, so step 2, I'm going to make it 1 over 1 plus 1 over x minus 2. So my LCD, I need a 1 represented, and I need an x minus 2 represented. So it's going to be 1 times x minus 2, but we don't actually have to write that 1 out front. So it's just x minus 2. Compare your individual denominators. What is this denominator missing that this one has? An x minus 2. And, oops, I'm sorry, I wrote that in the wrong place. Alright, it won't let me erase it, then I'll just scribble it out. Should have been here. Sorry about that. And then what is this denominator missing that this one has? Nothing. So there's nothing you need to multiply times the second fraction. So I have 1 times x minus 2, which is just x minus 2, and then plus 1. So I had x minus 2 times 1, which is just x minus 2, plus 1, plus 1. So to clean that up, I get x, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1, so x minus 1 over x minus 2. This is my new denominator. So step 3, write them together. X minus 1 over x plus 2, x minus 2, all over x minus 1 over x minus 2. Multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. These cancel, these cancel. Whatever you do to the denominator, you must also do to the numerator. So you've got these x minus 1's cancel, these x minus 2's cancel, and so in the numerator you're just left with 1, and then the denominator you're just left with x plus 2. Okay? Okay, so this is one you're definitely going to want to number. So I'm going to bring number 1 over here. We've got 2 over x plus 5. Make sure to put your parentheses. Plus 4 over x plus 3. So LCD is x plus 5 to represent this one, and x plus 3 to represent this one. So I'm going to go x plus 5 times x plus 3. So what is this one missing that this one has? An x plus 3. And what is this one missing that this one has? An x plus 5. Now, we've gotten to the point of where I don't want you to just multiply these in your head. This is the step you cannot skip. So you're going to do 2 times x plus 3 plus 4 times x plus 5. And the reasoning behind this is if this is minus, you're always going to forget to distribute the negative. So I don't want you to skip this step. Please write this out. Now distribute. So you get 2x plus 6 plus 4x plus 20 all over x plus 5 times x plus 3. So now combine like terms. 2x and 4x is 6x. Cross those out. And then 6 and 20 is 26. And this is all over x plus 5 times x plus 3. Now, both of these are divisible by what? 2? Yeah. So I'm going to factor a 2 out, leaving behind x plus 13. 3x plus 13, right? If I factor a 2 out, 3x plus 13, yep. All over x plus 5 times x plus 3. And that is my new numerator. And then let's do my new denominator. First things first, I need to factor this. So I'm going to factor it up here. So I need an x and an x. And then factors of 15 that give me 8, 5, and 3. Okay, so I've got 3x plus 13 over x plus 5 times x plus 3. Okay, that is one single fraction, so that's my new denominator. So now I need to write them together. So I've got 2 times 3x plus 13 over x plus 5 times x plus 3. And this is all over 3x plus 13 over x plus 5 times x plus 3. Okay? So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. These cancel, these cancel, these cancel. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. These cancel, and these cancel. So I'm literally just left with 2 over 1, which we'll just call 2. So when you get down to a single digit like that, you know you probably did it correctly. Okay, so 2 is your answer. Okay, now we're going to be dealing with negative exponents, which you remember from chapter 3? I don't even remember, a while back. So the first thing you need to do is deal with the numerator, then you're going to deal with the denominator. So by dealing with the numerator, x to the negative 1 power, remember, negative exponent, drop it like it's hot. So it's going to become 1 over x, x to the first power, but we don't write that. So that's my new numerator. And my new denominator, I had x squared plus y, x to the negative 2 plus y to the negative 2. Remember, if you negative exponent, drop it like negative exponent in the numerator, drop it like it's hot. Now these are technically in the numerator because these would be considered over 1 over 1. So it's going to become 1 over x squared plus 1 over y squared. And that's going to be my new denominator. So as you can tell, I'm building a complex fraction. So I'm going to rewrite this over here. 1 over x over 1 over x squared plus 1 over y squared. So now we have a brand new problem that we need to start all over. This is now my numerator. Let's do this. Let's go 3, 4. This is now my numerator. This is now my denominator. And I have to solve them like I did all the previous problems. So my numerator, 1 over x, is fine. But my denominator is 1 over x squared plus 1 over y squared. So I need my LCD. I need an x squared represented, and I need a y squared represented. So my LCD is going to be x squared, y squared. What is missing from this fraction that this one has? A y squared. What is missing from this fraction or this denominator that this one has? An x squared. Okay? So 1 times y squared is y squared. And 1 times x squared is x squared. So my new denominator is y squared plus x squared over y squared x squared. X squared y squared. Okay, so now I need to rewrite my entire fraction. So I've got 1 over x, because remember I didn't do anything to the numerator, over y squared plus x squared over x squared y squared. Okay. Now multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. These cancel, these cancel. But again, whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. See if anything cancels up here. This x will actually cancel one of these x's, so just scribble out the squared. That's all that cancels. So I'm left with x y squared over y squared plus x squared. Because you have parentheses around this denominator, you cannot cancel any of this stuff. Okay, so that actually will be your final answer. We'll circle it in red since we had a gazillion things circled. That's your final answer. Okay? All right. Here we go again. So let's rewrite A. So it's going to be 2 over A, because you drop A like it's hot, plus 3 over B squared, because you drop B like it's hot because of the negative exponent. Okay? All over, let's do 2. So this is 1, 2. A to the negative 1 is 1 over A, because you drop it like it's hot, minus B to the negative 1 is 1 over B, because you drop it like it's hot. So that's my new problem that I'm actually going to do. So let's bring the numerator down. 2 over A plus 3 over B squared. Find my LCD. I need an A. I need a B squared. So my LCD is A, B squared. What is this denominator missing that this one has? A B squared. What is this denominator missing that this one has? An A. So you have 2b squared plus 3a. Because remember, you multiply these together. And those are the ones I don't mind you doing in your head. So that's my new numerator. Now my new denominator is going to come from 1 over a minus 1 over b. So I need an LCD. I need an A. I need a B. So my LCD is AB. This denominator is missing a B. This denominator is missing an A. So you end up with B minus A. Because when you multiply 1 times B, you get 1B minus 1A. So this is my new denominator. So I've got 2b squared plus 3a over ab squared, all over b minus a over ab. Put parentheses around this. Multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So ab over b minus a. These cancel. But you also have to do it times the numerator. So this a and this a cancel. This b cancels one of these b's. So you're left with 2b squared plus 3a over b times b minus a. That cannot be simplified any further, so that is your answer. All right, so we've got 1 and 2. We don't need to do anything to 1, so we're just going to leave it 1. And 2 is x minus 1 over x. Because x to the negative 1 is, drop it like it's hot, so it's 1 over x. Okay, so we don't need to do anything to 1. But 2, I'm going to make it x over 1 minus 1 over x. So my LCD needs a 1 and an x. So it would be 1x, but you don't need to write that. So this denominator is just missing an x. This denominator isn't missing anything. So x times x is x squared minus 1. Hopefully it immediately jumps out at you that that is difference of squares. X plus 1 times x minus 1 all over x. So this is my new denominator. So I have 1 over 1 from my numerator, x plus 1 times x minus 1 over x. Multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. And then do the same thing in the numerator. Now, anything times 1 is just itself. So your answer is x over x plus 1 times x minus 1. All right, and the last one here. A to the negative 1 power becomes 1 over a plus 1 over 1 over a minus 1. That's my new numerator and my new denominator. So bring your numerator over. 1 over a plus 1 over 1 to make it a fraction. Find your LCD. You need A represented and you need 1 represented. So it would be 1A, but remember guys, we don't write that, we just write A. So that's our common denominator. This denominator isn't missing anything over here. This denominator is missing an A. So you multiply that times the numerator. So up here you end up with 1 plus A, or 1 plus 1A, but you don't necessarily have to write that. This is your new numerator. And then your new denominator is 1 over A minus 1 over 1. So LCD, same situation. I need an A and a 1. So that's 1A. But we're just going to write A. Don't need anything here because they're the same. But here I don't have an A, so I need an A. So this becomes 1 minus A, because it's 1 minus 1 times A. So this is your new denominator. So I'm going to rewrite it. 1 plus A over A, all over 1 minus A over A. Multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. Everything should cancel, but whatever you do to the denominator, you must also do to the numerator. These A's will cancel, and 1 plus A and 1 minus A are not the same thing. If you're not sure, plug in a number for A. So let's say I plug in 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. They are not the same. So you end up with 1 plus A over 1 minus A. And that is your final answer. You guys have a good night. Good job doing the homework, and I will see you tomorrow.